This is Fugen from Treeleaf. I am here today to celebrate. I want to celebrate us being here. I want to celebrate life. And I also want to celebrate a small thing maybe, but a really, really big thing in another matter. I have sewn a rakusu. And not just any rakusu. This is a rakusu that is made for me. For once I have done a rakusu for myself. This is for me to wear in the future. And it's kind of special thing. I mean, it's a very special thing if you are to do as I usually do when I sew, I do a rakusu for someone else and I give it away. But it is also a very special thing to do a rakusu for yourself. Because in life, we must not forget ourselves in our doings. Okay, most of people today just think of themselves. But a lot of us do everything we can for everyone else. We have to remember sometimes to do things for ourselves. Like me in doing this rakusu, or, well, you could call it a thing of life, because it is very much life. It is, you know, it contains everything. Consternations, cries, happiness, laughter, everything. Really, really everything. It is like life in general. You just have to take it one stitch at a time. That's the same thing in life. You have to take life just one stitch at a time. The only thing is maybe that in the rakusu you can sort of turn back time, because you can pull the thread out and start over a bit. But in life you're not that, I think at least. You can't really do that. And this is a very difficult rakusu for me in another matter, other than it's for me. Is that it's very thick. It's very, very thick. If you look at it, this is the thickness of the rakusu, and this is the thickness of the rakusu I have now. It's quite different. This one is made out of fabric from the stool factory or the chair factory near here, and it's for the cushion that you sit on. So it's very sturdy and very hard, and it was a very interesting journey to sew it. To sew it is perfectly fine. Folding it was an entire other thing. It was interesting, really, really interesting, and I learned a lot. And same thing in life. You learn a lot in life too, if you just stop and see it. This rakusu, I'm very happy to be a part of a sangha or a tradition that sews rakusus or sews robes. This is just a small version of the robe. And the robe, the tradition of sewing a robe has gone as far back as the Buddha himself. I mean, it's been there all the time. Okay, there has been different versions of how you sew and what you sew, and the small ones, big ones, yeah, you know what. But that's not the important point. The important point is that we have done something that has some sort of tradition and some sort of meaning that binds everything together. It's a very special thing. It's been a transmission from people to people to people to people, and it's been there all the time. and it's keeping people together. It's not until very recent times when we see certain more secular Buddhist traditions that don't sew a rakusu or don't use in a kind of fabric or anything, but they sew a different rakusu or a different robe. They sew a robe of their own life, in my perspective at least. But we sew one out of fabric too, just to show that we sew robes both out of life and out of fabric, so to speak. So we sew two robes. They just sew one robe, but it's the same robe that we all sew. And I'd like to read a bit from the Shobogenzo. It's the one I have here is the Tanahashi version, and the fascicle or section is called "The Power of the Robe." The power of the kashaya transmitted by Buddha ancestors is clear and easy to accept. The authentic transmission has been handed down from person to person. The true form has been shown to us directly. It still exists, as this Dharma has been inherited up to the present. The ancestors who received the kashaya are all teachers and students who merged their minds and received Dharma. Therefore, you should make kashaya in the manner authentically transmitted by Buddha ancestors. As this is the authentic transmission, ordinary people and sages, humans and devas, as well as dragon kings, all know it. To be born to the abundance of this Dharma and to wear a kashaya even once and maintain it for a moment is no other than wearing an amulet that assures the attainment of unsurpassable enlightenment. When one phrase or one verse permeates your body and mind, it becomes a seed of illumination for limitless kalpas, and this brings you to unsurpassable enlightenment. When one dharma or one wholesome action permeates your body and mind, it is also like this. And if we go back, thus the power of the kashaya is actualized through our practice, not merely with one or two Buddhas, but with as many Buddhas as the sands of Ganges. Even if it is our own practice, you should revere it, rejoice in it, and wholeheartedly express gratitude for the profound gift transmitted by ancestral teachers. Even animals repay kindness. How should humans not recognize the kind of help by others? If you do not understand kindness, you are more foolish than animals. The power of the Buddha robe, the Buddha Dharma, cannot be known and understood except by ancestors who will transmit the Buddha's true Dharma. When you follow the path of Buddhas, you should joyfully appreciate the Buddha robe, the Buddha Dharma. You should continue this authentic transmission even for hundreds and thousands of future generations. This is Buddha Dharma freshly actualized. So, what Dogen is saying is that this robe that we sew in fabric and that we sew in life, is Dharma, is the Dharma, is the enlightenment, is the practice. Or, as another fool of tree leaf says, it's all good practice. So, thank you for your practice. And may the force be with you.